Merhaba, and welcome back to the Ottoman campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So another meeting has popped up here in North Oceania. Right. I guess I set this up. There are so many battles happening each turn now, so last turn when I moved my fleet around has already been several days ago, real time, so I've kind of forgotten what I tried to do. That's just something that happens. Anyway, we got two battleships on our side. The two Tanzimat class, brand new. They are semi-copies of the, I forget the name, the ones with the 20-inch guns, but they've got 17.5s instead. Two quadruple and two double turrets. And we got the S-class, new heavy cruisers, 10.5-inch guns, three triples, and a selection of random light cruisers. I'm not sure why these are all in this task force. They should ideally be in different ports doing convoy things, but I guess here they are. I'm just gonna have to remember to send them home. But we also have a squadron of destroyers. The British have three Northumberland class battleships with the 20-inch guns. A Prince Consort class battlecruiser. I'm not sure what kind of ship that is. I'm not sure if I've seen that before. And a smattering of cruisers and destroyers. That's a lot of destroyers. The Vehement. I think these are the ones with the 20-kilometer torps. So they got a few of those. Right. Let's go. Right. These are some strange-looking battlecruisers. I'm not sure if I've seen these before, or just something that is equally strange. I don't remember seeing anything with that exact turret layout, but I guess we'll see. So, two battleships only. I'm a little bit down on firepower compared to the enemy. There's the fourth heavy cruiser. Alright. And you're just gonna follow the battleships. You're just gonna join the other heavy cruisers. Destroyers, as is tradition, we're gonna open up the party with a volley of long-range torpedoes. Light cruisers. Abdul Majid, you are old. All of these are kind of old. Yeah, they are. So none of them are the modern ones with the amazing spotting range, so might as well just send these home. Have them not take part in the battle. They're not going to be much use, really. Well, I say that now, but maybe I'm going to find myself needing them later on. But I think they got roughly the same spotting range as these destroyers. Maybe a little bit better, if they've been refit with radar 2. These have radar 1. But I don't think spotting is going to be an issue. What's my gun range here? 35 kilometers. What was the enemy gun range? Okay, we're about equal. Right. That's concerning. These 18.4s are also Mark III. What's your armor layout? You do not have the third citadel layer. So your deck armor with that first and only deck layer. The first layer is that cuts the penetration of the shell down by 50%, meaning that it's basically twice as effective as its raw thickness. So that is 5.4, right? I do think I've seen these before. Or at least something with basically the same armor layout. 7 inches of effective deck armor. And these ones, right? Yeah. I'll be focusing the battleships with my battleships. Of course, they have 3. I have 2. So one of those battleships is going to be not engaged by my guns. But on the bright side, I have plenty of ammunition. This task force has never seen battle before. So on the not so bright side, none of these ships are veterans. The enemy is being very aggressive, as usual in dip. All right, smoke up. Their battleships are 0.1 knots faster than mine. But I think mine are immune to flooding. That's something they're looking at fixing in the Dreadnought improvement project. But that means trouble for me, because since they are immune to flooding, none of my battleships of that class have any anti-flood protection. I just left that equipment slot empty, because if I'm immune, I won't need it. If I update the game and I'm no longer immune, then I'm in trouble. It's kind of the situation when I built most of my ships without any deck armor. Because who needs deck armor in a game where deck hits just never happen, right? But then came that update, and deck hits are a thing again, so I had to refit all my ships. That's the danger of gaming the system too much. Alright, they all launched. Ooh, 08. I think you're toast here. You're not going to be able to get away. Not with that amount of flooding. Let's just hope they keep firing at you and not the other ones. Here come my torpedoes. Yeah, I lost 08. But there we go. Torpedoes are hitting. Straya took a bunch of torpedoes. And goes down. Caledonia didn't take any. "12 torpedoes thus far. Not sure if we're gonna get any more. Zealous, I think, took 1. Furious took 1. And Zealous took 1. Right. What are you... What the frick are you doing? Okay, Thermopylae, you're, you might have signed your own death sentence here. By pulling this kind of maneuver. Hopefully Zenta can, she's also turning towards the enemy. Friggin' morons. Right. Just get away. Probably gonna lose this cruiser now. Or maybe this one. Maybe both of them. Right, these two destroyers are in good health. They can rearm and try that torpedo run again. Okay, Zenta is actually getting away, I think. Actually, let's see. Let's have you detach and speed up, and then catch up to your sisters. Yeah. 20-kilometer torps. And the ones that just have quad tubes, 17.2. That's still pretty good. If Thermopylae can make it out. Might have her rejoin the other cruisers. Look how close they're sailing. Oh, Zenta flooding. Not good. Right. You are retreating. Destroyers, you can do circles here until your torpedoes are ready. Let's see, what have you two done? You've done some things. Okay, both of you now can focus Caledonia, which is the closest one. Zealous has taken a bunch of hits. Actually, mostly 17-inch gunfire. Yeah, no, Zenta is now too damaged. keeping the other ones back. Vehement has launched torpedoes. Presumably at Thermopylae. Now my battleships are doing a good job outgunning the enemy battleships. Now, cruisers, if you would be so kind as to pick a target you can actually damage. So not the big battleship. 16.9 at 20 kilometers. I am penning the aft belt. Although fore and aft belts, 1.6 inches. And apparently the main belt. I don't get how that's possible. Well, Thermopylae can actually try and rejoin. Zenta is definitely done. Destroyers are not quite ready yet. They're gonna be soon. Caledonia might actually just sink from the damage she's taken. Because that's a lot of red compartments under the waterline. It is actively flooding. Tanzimat, autograce, completely intact. They've taken some hits, but it's just been blocked by the armor. Yeah, Caledonia is gonna sink, and there she goes. We're focusing Zealous, which is also heavily damaged, and Furious. Zealous can no longer fire back because of flooding. Two destroyers, rearmed and ready. They have 2 battleships, I have 2 destroyers. That makes targeting easy. Of course, specifically hitting the battleships, not that important, although it would be nice. Hitting the entire enemy task force that is clustered around the battleships. That would be very, very nice. Let's hope they can get out. After the refit, these destroyers were actually really expensive when first built in the 1920s. And it's the DD-22 designation. But after a couple of refits, especially with the gas turbines, they got much, much cheaper and better. And that's the kind of refit I like seeing. From the torpedoes. Pretty good. Heroic save by Raccoon. But we still get Zealous. We got Furious twice. And some cruisers here and there. 26 torpedo hits in a battle where my torpedo boats were not present. Just destroyers and just 4 of them. They are safely speeding away. We are now 30 kilometers away from my my battleships. Let's load AP. At max range, I can go through their main deck, including the citadel layer, which is 7 inches thick. I've got 8 inches of pen, and that's versus 200% or plus 200% armor. They had 180, I think. Of course, with just a regular crew. Hey, main deck pen. That's what I said. Not a huge amount of damage, but and Zealous will sink, so both of you can now focus Furious. So she's also gone, and then we're going to switch to the battlecruisers. I'm not sure how I'm getting a main belt over pen at that range. Or my belt pen is pretty poor, but Furious has not sunk yet. We're getting too far away. Motor Grace is actually out of range. You don't have the you don't have the best turning circle. That's for sure. We are sinking the Furious. And you guys, you're gonna follow here. I don't want to have them like follow directly behind the battleships, because then they just end up being focused. Because if I'm kiting away, they're gonna be the closest targets. And if they start doing weird maneuvers, like we saw, they're gonna be in trouble. And Furious is just about done. 0.9% structure. That's what's gonna kill her, probably, not the flooding. We just need a little bit more damage. It's gonna sink. 8. Okay, we can get some HE going here. Just a couple ticks of fire damage. All I need. If I can just score some hits. There we go. There we go. Lord Warden. Defense. I would like to slow down to cruising speed, but it seems that every time I reduce speed down from full flank speed in a division, sometimes the following ships just, even though they should apply that speed change, they just kind of don't, and they end up bumping into each other and doing like weird circles because they have to get back around, and that's what you saw with the cruisers previously, because they are 32 knot ships following 28 knot ships. And it seems that gets worse and worse the higher into the campaign you get, the years, with more advanced engines and stuff. And I think that's because the game views deceleration as a negative thing. So you have a lot of technologies that makes you decelerate less, which is bad if you want to slow down. That's kind of my theory of why that's a problem. We just scored some huge hits on oh, I guess it was a DD that got in the way. Yeah, rocket. Wasn't even targeted. It ate like almost 200,000 damage from one hit. So that damage total you see here from Ottoman, that's not really that representative of her gunnery. Especially when things like that happen. I don't know why those shots hit the DD though. Unless except maybe she changed her target and I just didn't notice. Anyway, the enemy battlecruisers are in in range. Well, we are in range of them. Now 1.4, 4.5.9 deck. Let's go HE here. They're just sailing in circles. Mainly just keeping these cruisers around for if they come at me with all the destroyers. Let's try and get a little bit closer again. Yeah, the minus 5.6% from a different number of barrels for the turrets, that's basically not noticeable. But the target fast speed and target maneuver, that is noticeable. We're looking at minus 70, minus 80, something thereabouts combined. If I can just score a couple good hits and do some flooding on these battlecruisers, slow them down a bit. Make them stop zipping around. It'd be easier to score more hits on them. I can choose your own ammo. I have to close in even more. A good chance to hit on paper. I think that one shell is gonna hit. There we go. Flooding on Lord Warden. That's a big hit too. At least their fire is also ineffective. What kind of turret armor did you guys have? 14 inches at 140% quality. Yeah, we can go through that. And are you explosive if I do hit you? Maybe. Super heavy shells, increased ammo, yeah. Even with TNT-3, it might be quite explosive. Mayfly sinks. 7.5-inch secondaries doing their job. What a grace! Took some huge hits here. 18.4s from the battle cruiser. Hit a secondary gun. But we finally got some good hits on defense. The cruisers coming back in. Both of you can target defense now. It's that close. Doing a risky turn here. Seven-inch guns being very effective. 17-inch guns also being very effective, finally. Torpedo barely missing Tanzimat. Defense goes down. Focus now the main guns on Lord Warden. I want to sink that one. What's the price tag on one of these? 1.8 billion. Not like super expensive. Ulster has lost her torpedoes. Might as well keep firing at her a little bit more. Virulent. Yeah, we're stacking the damage numbers now. Sirius is in serious trouble if she's gonna be clinging to Lord Warden like that. Yeah, I called it. Yeah. And I didn't even do it on purpose. That might be the killing blow on Warden. Or maybe not. I know, she got the flooding under control. At least on the stern. Need to get either a little bit of stern flooding or some damage. I could just ignore her. She's out of ammo. But it would be nice to kill it. I don't think she fired off all her ammo, by the way. She had increased ammunition. I think it's just the turrets having gotten knocked out. Yeah, main guns, main guns. When she's that close to sinking, I just want to finish the job. Cruisers are hitting the destroyers. Good to see, good to see. %, structure. 1%, and flooding. I just need to tickle her a little bit more, and she's gone. And we can put those big guns to use on some cruisers. Blocked. There she goes. Right. And Tanzimat, you can finish off Kentor. Secondaries on Ursula. What kind of armor do the cruisers have? I absolutely nuked one of them. I was sailing next to Lord Warden. Yeah, these cruisers are not that well armored. I mean, the armor is decent, but if you take into account the citadel layers, they're not that impressive. So, as a refreshing change, I can, I should be able to reliably pen them. Okay, this is a different one. No, it isn't. It's just highlighting the wrong ship. There we go. Big hits on Glasgow. Kentor goes down. Let's switch to Raccoon now. Tanzimat. Need to stick around. There went Glasgow. Oops, that was not supposed to be a move order. Glad I caught it. Constance is their last heavy cruiser. It looks like we are going to be able to sink all of them. I was a little bit worried. We're going to get Constance. Yes. Nice. No, don't waste your main gun rounds on the destroyer. That is for the secondaries to worry about. And the cruisers, I guess. You can pick another one. Yeah, this is going really well. Hermione and Dido. Hermione was sailing just behind Dido, so I was hoping that could give me some accidental hits, but it's too late. We can get closer. None of these light cruisers have torpedoes. I'm pretty sure. Virulent has torps, Ursula has torps. They're only 17-kilometer torps. Which is decent, but I'm safely out of range. Up these two, the closest ones. That destroyer is not in range of my secondaries. Yarmouth is. Have the cruisers take out the DD. Mustn't forget the thumbnail. I want to show off the mix of gun barrels. There we go. Yep, that's the end of Ursula. Both my cruisers are now focusing Yarmouth. Or they were. Goes. And the last one. Will she fall to the cruisers or the battleships? It's hiding behind the wreckage. The wreckage can actually also intercept hits, just like other ships can. There she goes. Nice. Right. And I lost one destroyer. Acceptable. This was not so acceptable, but I take no blame for that. That was the captains being dumb. 726,000 victory points. Now, victory points versus Britain, not really that important, because I've already taken most of their colonial empire. And I don't think what they have left is, you know, stuff that they can give away as war reparations. But anyway. There we go. The two Buroklu class battlecruisers and the Büyük Agri with the Mark 5 16s. Supported by only 3 destroyers. The 4th one was sent to repair somewhere. It's not lost, by the way. And the 4 original DD-22s are still all in service. But they're facing off against a very big American task force. Rooks class battleship with the 19s. I forget if this was Mark 3 or Mark 2 19s. Guess we're gonna have to find out next time. Oh yeah, the Paul F. Foster. They carry no torpedoes either. It's so refreshing to see the AI build cruisers without just stuffing torpedoes all over, like they did here in the Milwaukee. But yeah, we're gonna see this one next time. Possibly tomorrow. I've lost track of the number of episodes I have ready to get uploaded, so we might be in the new year already. Or tomorrow's episode might be in the new year. Or there might not be an episode tomorrow if that is New Year's Eve, because, you know, that's a kind of a holiday thing. Anyway, next time we're going to see this battle. So, Uh, yeah, goodbye, take care, and maybe Happy New Year, unless that's happened already.